Yeah, the mic's on. Marie, are you ready?
Hey Jordan, are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if they're ready though.
Well, let's see.
We're back. We're back. We're back.
Yes, we are. We are back live. We are
Live,
back
live,
live.
live, 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 live. Evening talks with Josh, Jordan, and Marie. Marie was just saying that she's feeling a little bit nervous.
I think every week we come on, it's like, I don't feel I'm excited. I wouldn't say it's nervous, I'm just a bit excited. I like being here,
Yeah.
interacting with our beautiful listeners.
That's right.
Worldwide. So it's, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I want to just big up a couple people who's tuned in already. I've got a very, very special guest. I want to big up Tanisha. Tanisha says she's just tuned in. So T, big up yourself. I know you've had a hard day. You know what I mean? So, welcome. We've got an interesting topic for you this evening as we discuss behind the scenes / knife crime. So we've had a lot of people touch base with us this week and the week before, in fact, talking about the severity of what's going on, how people are feeling affected by, what's happening with our young people on the streets. So they've asked us if we can kindly explore the topic and give some support, give some solutions, give some empathy, give some sympathy, a bit of direction, and have a discussion. And that's what Evening Talks is. It's a discussion. Evening Talks with Josh, Jordan, and Marie.
So we want you to interact with us this evening.
That's right.
And we will give out the phone line shortly.
Definitely.
But before we divulge into our subject tonight, our topics, Jordan, how's your week been this week?
Do you know what? It's not been too bad. I've been taking it easy. I've been resting a lot, trying to get back in balance. Do you know what I mean? I've been taking it easy. Still off the back of, feeling unwell, etc. Do you know what I mean? I'm not coughing anymore, so
that's good.
That's a plus. Do you know what I mean? You take it for granted, Like, you see, like us who talk a lot, yeah?
Do we talk a lot, Jordan?
Do we talk a lot?
Do we?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. So, for us who talk a lot, yeah, like, you take your voice for granted. Do you know what I mean? Because I couldn't even string a sentence together without having those unexpected, you know what I mean? So, it's very, very humbling. So, anyone out there who doesn't have a cough, a cold, are feeling under the weather, don't take it for granted. Well-being is key. Do you know what I mean? And prevention's better than cure as well. So please make sure you go get all the necessities. Go get your ginger,
garlic.
Go get your garlic and all them things there.
And white rum.
Yeah, get
for
the
those
white
who
rum.
can.
Yeah.
Because Jordan, I saw someone who I know, and they was like, "Oh, there's coming down like with cold symptoms." And I was like, yeah, make sure you get the ginger, garlic, and the white rum. Said, no, Mum, I can't drink them, I can't touch them, I'm not allowed. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I'm not encouraging someone to be.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
But for medicine purposes.
There's other alternatives, you know what I mean? There's other alternatives, you know what I mean? If you don't want to, you know what I mean? But yeah, go to those natural shops. Go get your soursop leaf. Yeah, go get your moringa. Get all them things, sea moss, boil up boil the bush.
And the black seed oil is very good for you as well.
Black seed oil, everything. And just do some research, you know what I mean? Because the immune system is really what we need to be defending. Yeah.
Especially as we're coming into the winter season.
Yeah, it's colder now. Look how dark it is outside. Usually when we come in there, it's bright.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside it's dark.
And the clocks hasn't even gone back yet.
Jaja. Right, yes, we're going to move on. Move on. Oh, wait, though, before we move on, Marie, how's your week been?
It's been good, actually. Been getting a lot of rest. I would say it's been very reflective. I'm learning a lot.
Yes.
A lot. So I'm just going to leave it as that. I'm learning a lot.
For now.
Yes. And yeah, it's just been a blessed week. I just feel that in our lives, there has to be a time where you have to do a bit of self-reflecting.
Come on.
Looking deep within some of our behavior patterns.
That's right.
Boundaries that we may need to instill.
That's right.
At times, in order for you to be focused on the goal, the journey, we need to continue in as well. But on top of that as well, I've had a special little birthday this week.
Oh, okay. Whose birthday is it?
It is It was my grandson's birthday.
Ah.
So before people want to be farsing up into my business,
Yeah,
if
'cause
you
we like-
know me,
Murray,
then you know
So
who my grandson
you're too young.
is.
You're too young to
Yes.
be a grandma.
If you don't know me, just say congratulations and happy birthday.
Yeah. I know. I remember I saw the little photograph, you know, and I said, boy.
If you know me, then you know.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
If you
yeah,
don't,
yeah.
just say happy birthday, grandson, and congratulations. Yeah,
big up
that's
the
all you need to
grandson, man.
say.
Big up the grandson. Big up the grandson.
We don't need to get into the science, the logistics.
Yeah.
No,
Just
just
We'll
happy
leave
birthday.
that. We'll leave that.
But
We'll leave that.
I give God thanks. You know, it's a healthy 1-year-old striving, growing so big. And I must say, I'm very proud of his parents, the way they are raising him, the morals, the standards they instill from
the
now.
standards.
You know, so yeah.
100%. That is amazing. Salute to the young king. You know what I mean? We want to also just acknowledge everyone on the TikTok. For those of you listening live, you can tune in on the TikTok. When I say live, I mean live on the radio, that is. You can tune in on the TikTok as well, on Just Cool Radio, if you're on TikTok. And then you can comment, you know, so we can engage with you and interact with you a little bit more for those who may not want to pick up the phone. So, yeah, don't forget the TikTok is there as well. So, Marie, the song that you specifically requested.
So I just got up the other morning and I thought, because of the topic that we're going to discuss today, I was saying, yeah, this song I felt was fitting.
Yeah.
So the song that we are going to play is Marvin Gaye, What's Going On.
Hey, what's up now?
Brother, what's up?
This is a groovy party, man.
Yeah,
I
brother,
can
like,
dig it.
solid. Right on.
Hey, man, what's your name?
Yo, you're tuned in to Just Cool Radio.
There's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Yeah. Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs, don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? Right on.
Hey, man, what's your name?
Right on. Right on.
Everything?
Everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, but who are they to judge us? Simply cause our hair is long. Oh, you know we've got to find a way. Bring some understanding here today. Picket lines and picket signs, don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'm
Yeah, the mic's on. Marie, are you ready?
Hey, Jordan, are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if they're ready though.
Well, let's see. Marvin
back.
Gaye, what's going on?
Big tune, big tune, big tune.
I
big
think
tune,
that's
big
a
tune.
question that a lot of us in the community is saying to each other, what is going on?
100%, 100%. We want to thank everyone who's been engaging with us so far as well, because we've been getting a lot of texts. People are really appreciative that we are covering the topic here today as well. So please tell a friend and let them tell a friend, and let's talk together as a community. Let's talk together as a village. Yeah, they say it takes a village to raise a child. So let's talk together as a village. Let's talk as one tonight, and let's explore, and yeah, let's really unpack this thing, because when people say knife crime, a lot of people look at the act. Someone has used an instrument and used it against someone else and caused an injury, or in the most unfortunate circumstances, end of life. But that is what people are looking at, not necessarily what's gone on prior and behind the scenes, and how that individual got to that place where they had the potential to use a weapon in that way, in a grievous way, on another human being. So we want to look at behind the scenes, and yeah, we want to unpack this together. So first, we want to look at some statistics. And the thing is, statistics are, they're really an interesting thing, because you're not really certain if they're accurate,
Yeah.
you know? So I think that is definitely a big problem. From what we've been seeing, from 2021 to 2022, and well, we wouldn't have 2023's results
Not
in
yet.
yet, because what
How
I
they
learned today,
how they
How they-
conduct
yeah.
their research.
yeah, that's
So
right.
they, from what
Explain it to
we
me.
identified today, it's like just like how you would do your tax returns.
Yes.
So it would start from April to next April.
Yes.
So the statistics for this year wouldn't have been done until probably March next year.
24.
yeah.
So it's March to March. That's how they tally up and count, you know, the
But bearing in mind,
homicides.
there's factors to that, because there could be crimes that has been committed that may not be in that statistics
Precisely.
because of what bracket it may fall under.
Precisely. So it's a bit hard to get an accurate number, and we have to remember that when we're looking at statistics, we're looking at what was actually recorded. That's the difference. So we can't say, oh, it's such and such a number, or it's such and such a number, because you have to think the government, you got to think the media, the press, you got to think those, you know, powers that be, if you like, they're going to put out what they want to put out. And it's funny, I did mention to Marie that I've got a good friend. I wasn't able to get hold of him, but a very special man in the community, Abdul Karim, and he has many years working with young people, working on a lot of projects and prevention projects, that is, inspirational projects, educational projects, yeah, helping a lot of these young people who are in that way of life. And he would actually be called to the hospital when these tragic incidents had taken place, and he'd be at King's College, yeah, which is a local hospital, you know, not very far from where we are here at the studio right now. And sometimes these youngsters will come in and they're in a bad way, and he would be there to console the family. He'll be there to support the family, and sometimes there's no family even there. He might be there supporting the young person, You know, like once they're stable,
Yeah,
so to
yeah.
speak. Do you know what I mean? Until a next of kin has actually got down to the hospital. So when we're looking at things like that, he has got many, many examples and testimonies of how, you know, some young people's fate has gone for the better and also gone for the worse. Because I spoke to him a few years ago about this very topic, and he said to me, Jordan, the stats are nowhere near true. Because he was saying, yeah, like this young man, blah, 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 you know, he passed away the other day. And I'm like, that wasn't on the news. He was like, they can't put everything on there.
Yeah.
People would run from London.
Yeah, and that's what we did discuss about today. That there's other factors as well that the true reflection number that of what's been happening won't be put out there because that would affect the income that comes in, the revenue that comes into the country.
100%.
Because a lot of countries abroad as well depend on tourists.
100%.
So if you really reflect the true figures, yeah, they're not going.
No.
It's a dangerous to them. It's like, you're putting my life at risk. We're not going.
Yeah. And who would want to go? Think about it. You got to think of like other countries around the globe. Right, just to name a few, yeah? You might hear South Africa. You might hear Nigeria. You might hear Jamaica. You might hear Brazil. You might hear Mexico. Like, you might hear certain states in America, for example. Chicago. Like, certain places, like, you hear of, and they'll be like, yeah, the killings are going crazy down there, you know? Yeah, like, you don't want to go there. What, you going to Jamaica by yourself? Yeah, like, that's
What,
the
you
kind...
drove around by yourself? By yourself? You went out in the nighttime?
Yeah. But that's what we hear. Yeah, that's what we hear. And you'd think to yourself, like, for the people who actually go to some of these places as tourists, they will tell you they had the greatest time in Brazil, the greatest time in Jamaica, the greatest time in South Africa. Like, they had the greatest time in Nigeria. They had the greatest time, you know, at a lot of these places. And I'm not saying that XYZ isn't happening, because it is. But if they were plastering around the news, like the negative side of things,
You're
people
not
won't
going
go.
anywhere.
People won't go. People definitely wouldn't be going. Let's call a spade a spade. Do you know what I mean? I've been seeing some things on YouTube and on social media. Certain influencers are talking about London a lot now, like, or people who have a following or a big platform, they're talking about London a lot. London's not safe. London's not, you know what I mean? Like, you know, don't wear your watch when you're in London. You know, people are getting their watch taken off them. People are getting attacked with knives and swords, and you know, all of these kind of things. You know what I mean? People,
I think to one aspect they are right when they say not knife swords, because the items that we have seen via different sources.
Yeah.
That is, I was saying to you, Jordan, they shouldn't call it knife crime. This is called a sword crime, because those, it's disgusting.
Yeah, no, it is. These weapons are like absolutely beyond, and we're gonna start talking about the weapons in a second. But in terms of the stats, quickly, I'm not really gonna go into it too much anyway. But they were saying that on average, from the March to March over the last few years, they're saying like it's been like 602. I think that was 2022. Sorry, 2021 going to 2022. 2021 going. Hang on, I'm getting it all muddled up. There we go again. So basically, they're saying last year, 2022 to 2023, was 697. That was saying was murders, yeah, but that's nationwide, yeah, that's nationwide.
But I'm wondering if that is based on what has gone to the courts, and people have been found guilty, more as to how many incident has taken place.
Because this is the thing. Remember, that's what they're saying is reported, yeah, but that's just murders at large. Yeah, and then when we looked into the actual stabbings and those the deaths caused by a knife, that was 282 nationwide. But then when we looked at London, where we're based, it was like 112 or something like that.
Which we know that that's not right.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I don't want to really focus on the stats then too much, because they're gonna be manipulating them, like, to make it look a certain type of way. Do you know what I mean?
Because remember, their aim was supposed to be fighting so that knife crime is reduced. So they're not really going to reflect the true figures, are they? Because that means they're not doing their job.
Yeah. But also, can we just emphasize as well, we're talking about knife crime that is more or less a certain, like, or young people that are from a certain type of background. Yeah, this isn't happening to middle class Caucasian children, is it? If we're to call a spade, it's not. I remember some years ago there was a tragic incident where there was a young middle class Caucasian girl who went to a very decent school who was stabbed, and she passed away. My goodness, I remember Boris Johnson was going mad on the news. This is preposterous. This is and he was going on. But I'm like, hold on a minute. This has been going on. But because it hasn't been happening to people from that class, this is where, because this is not about black and white. Yeah, it's about class. Because from when I was little, yeah, I remember watching documentaries, yeah, hearing that some of the best surgeons, yeah, to deal with damaged organs are in Scotland. I heard that from long time. Scotland and London, I heard that from a long time when I was watching documentaries, because them children up in Glasgow and, certain areas in Scotland were stabbing each other up. This is when I was little. So if we're talking about knife crime, like, it's been going on. Like, I saw on this one documentary where this young man got paralyzed. Yeah, they stabbed him in his back. Yeah, and he was paralyzed. That was it. Can't walk again. Do you know what I mean? And I saw that from I was little, probably about 8. You know what I mean? I was young when I saw that documentary there, and they were talking about the stabbings. I was like, oh, I'm not going to Scotland. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I saw from them time there. Do you know what I mean? And I haven't seen many efforts, if you like. Do you know what I mean? If we're talking about a lot of these cities, we're talking about Bristol, Birmingham, Nottingham, Manchester, Liverpool. Not seriously, when we start thinking about, those kind of areas, yeah, like, yeah, it's things are happening. You know what I mean? Things are happening, but it's the level of care. Yeah, that's the question that we have to start asking. It's the level of care. Do you know what I mean? But yes, Marie, let's move on. Do you know what? We're talking about, the issue. The topic that we're covering today is behind the scenes, isn't it? Yeah, so we're talking about behind the scenes, and we want to start looking at the background of what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, I want to talk about some initiatives that I was in and around probably about 2008, yeah, and I've seen some people now who are, who have taken amazing active steps, yeah, to make this their daily passion, yeah, of helping remove the weapons off the streets. Now, there's a young man that I know from the borough of, I think he would be classed as Tooting. Well, not the borough of Tooting, but let's just say he's from Southwest, innit? Let's just say he's from Southwest, yeah? And his name is Alexander Rose, yeah? Anyone who's listening there, you can Google him now, Alexander Rose Stop Campaign, yeah? You type that in, you will see this man had a logo, yeah, that said stop, yeah? So you had the capital S, then you had the T, but the T was like a knife, yeah? and then you had the O and you had the P, but the P was a gun, yeah, but like a handgun. But you could see how the P was made for stop, yeah, and stop stood for or stands for solve this ongoing problem, yeah. He was campaigning hard, yeah, 2008, 2009, yeah, because like he was seeing, you know, a lot of stabbings and shootings and stuff going on in and around South London and London at large. But obviously he's from South, innit? So he heard a lot of the stuff that was going on. He's like, I have to put a stop to this. Like, who's gonna put a stop to this? And he was campaigning, yeah. Anyway, as he was campaigning, he started to develop, like, you know, good connections with people and stuff like that. Then he met up with some other organizations and he started to speak to the police to ask them how can he help young people dispose their weapons. They didn't have many answers. Yeah, so he's saying, all right, cool. When I'm walking down the street, I see recycling bins. When I'm walking down the street, I see clove bins. Yeah, can young people put weapons in a bin anonymously? Yeah, where, you know, once it goes in the bin, it can't be taken out. Not like, say, for example, like another bin that you're going to put rubbish in.
Yeah.
You can take the rubbish out, or someone can take the rubbish
It's
out.
like a
so to
secure
speak.
bin.
A secure bin.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what he was, you know, speaking to the Metropolitan Police about and stuff like that. And at first, they weren't really too interested and stuff like that because they're saying, well, people need to be convicted. He's like, yeah, but what if people haven't even used their weapon yet? Like, what if they haven't stabbed anyone? What if they haven't shot anyone? Yes, they have it, but how are they gonna get rid of it if the idea or the thought of going to hand it in is gonna mean prosecution?
They could get arrested.
100%.
Yeah.
So they will use that. We need to get a solution to how to help young people. So some police stations started to get some of these bins in place, and then they started to place these weapon bins in around London. Do you know what I mean? So as they're doing that, they'll go put their weapon in the bin, and then it's anonymous, no convictions. You know what I mean? So when they started to collect in all of these hundreds of knives and guns and everything, all coming into the bins and stuff, what he then done was melted the weapons and the knives, melted all the weapons and stuff down, and then he melted it down to a key, yeah, and then the key said education. So it was the words education in the shape of a key, like a metal key, and then on the back of it, it said, this used to be a knife. So he was concentrating on this used to be, because he said a lot of people used to be something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's concentrate on the fact that this used to be a knife. This used to be a gun. It was intended to cause damage, harm. Yeah. But now it's a key that people are wearing as like a pendant, a medallion. Do you know what I mean? It's round their neck and it says education. And obviously, because it's in the shape of a key, it's saying education is the key. But he's saying not necessarily traditional education, but it's learning. Do you know what I mean? Learning something. And it was big. So when that was going on, you started to see other people, you know, connect with him and stuff like that. And moving forward, I mean, he's moved on to other stuff now because he kind of left that in some other people's hands and stuff. But he became a prison officer. Not a prison officer. What's the word? It's not a prison officer. He became a prison like mentor. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Not officer.
Is it like a counselling mentor?
Yeah, like a counselling mentor. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, I said officer. It wasn't prison officer. So he used to mentor the young people who were about to come out. So getting them prepared for the world and stuff like that.
Which is good, because I do believe that when a man or woman or young person has been incarcerated and you've been in it for a lengthy time, to come out into society.
Yeah.
Like, Jordan, you know, we can drive up some particular roads in our area. We haven't been incarcerated and it's changed. So could you imagine if you've been away 2-3 years,
Facts.
to come back to integrate into society? That is overwhelming.
100%. No
So
two
it's
ways
good
about
that
it.
that is in place.
No two ways about it. What was interesting is that he had some events in the prisons, yeah, Marie, and he invited myself down to the couple prisons. He invited our same friend Abdul Kareem to come down as well, and we'd do workshops and stuff like that in the prisons. And that would I'm trying to think. We're going back years again, you know. I feel like the last prison workshop that I would have went to with Alex Rose was 2016.
Oh wow.
Yeah, about 2016. Do you know what I mean? And he had me come down there and do some poems and stuff like that, and yeah, it was.
So how did the inmates receive the words that came from your poetry?
Well, it depends on what group we was working with, because you get some groups that are in there for like less serious crimes. So like we'd have, oh no, it doesn't matter.
Are
Like,
they in
could be-
categories, aren't they?
Yeah. So, but I mean, everyone who would come to the prison workshops, they're like allowed to, meaning that like they're trusted.
Okay,
Like,
so
you're
they've
not-
probably gone up in the category of being a trusted.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, they're still like where they are, and some of them obviously
they've
still
earned.
think how they think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like some of them, to be honest, it's like you could tell they were just there to just get out of their cell. Like they didn't really care about what's being said or whatever kind of thing. But you never know who's gonna be blessed by what you gotta say, innit? So
It's like sowing that seed.
yeah,
isn't
so
it?
yeah, I went there, and some of the people who was there for like lesser crimes, they were more engaging. I found they were a bit more responsive to the workshops and stuff like that. But the ones who were in there for more serious crimes,
Which means it's a longer period of time.
yeah,
This is something to
like,
help the days go by.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, couple man did engage, but some of them were just like, you can see the attitude in it, like, because yeah, like it was interesting. Put it this way, it's needed though. Like it was needed. You know what I mean? I remember one workshop that we done. After the poems and that, some people come up to me and they're like, yeah, bro, like that was powerful, man. That was powerful. Like when I come out, like we have to link up, you know. And I'm there laughing, you know, because I'm like, I don't know how we're gonna link up. Do you know what I mean? But big them up said way though, because like at the end of the day, yeah, like we all make certain choices, innit? And sometimes our choices aren't as sound kind of thing as other choices, you know what I mean? But big them up said way though. But yeah, Marie, the workshops them was powerful. And do you know what was happening as well? What he done as well, Alex Rose, proper G, you know, he like passed some of my poems to other like prison mentors and stuff in other, you know, prisons, and they would like analyze my poems and stuff. And I was like, whoa, like I didn't even, you don't expect that. I'm just writing a poem to go out there, but I'm thinking about performing it. I wasn't writing it at the time thinking that
It's going to be
it's going to be analyzed by prisoners and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And then some prisoners, like he printed them out and stuff, and then he gave it to them like in this. He gave it to them at the end of the mentoring workshops he'll do with them, and then they can go and read it in their own time. So I remember when I went to one prison and I went to go and perform like one particular poem, my boys poem, which is talking about this kind of stuff. And a couple of them knew the words. Like, do you know what I mean? And I'm not expecting that. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you never know what your gifting,
yeah,
where it can be led to.
Yeah,
to be a
yeah.
blessing.
To
help somebody else.
Facts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, that was that. And who I know and have seen put in an extensive amount of work doing what Alex Rose was doing years ago is Farron Alex Paul, yeah, over from North London, yeah. Faz Amnesty. Anyone who, you know, has Instagram or TikTok, you know, go on your Instagram and type in Faz Amnesty or Farron Paul, and you will see the work that Faz is doing. Yeah, I've seen Faz a couple times, yeah, and the guy is just so to the point and thorough to the bone, passionate about taking these weapons off the street. Like, listen, like, Faz, if you're listening, big up Faz. 'Cause I did message him, but I don't know if he's tuned in. You know what I mean? But yeah, I wanted some statistics from Faz to kind of find out how many weapons he's taken off the streets. Do you know what I mean? And
And from his perspective as well, because
Yeah.
he's on the, as you say, he's on the ground.
yeah, he's on the ground. He's on the front line.
Yeah.
He's on the front line.
Yeah.
And he's been getting a lot of stick from, like, the Metropolitan Police when he's going into the stations to actually hand the weapons in. So imagine,
Interesting.
there was a video that he posted the other day. He's got into the station. He's got, I think it was bullets, you know. And he had the bullets, and he's gone to the lady at the desk, and she goes to him, "Oh, did my colleague just bring you in?" And
Wow.
he was like,
Oh, wow.
he was like, "No," you know what I mean? And it's the perception. Do you understand what I'm saying? That this man is helping clear our streets up, yeah. And then this is what he's getting from the police, you know, staff that, you know, at the stations, at the local stations, wondering if he got arrested, and he's now handing in. It's like, what? You know what I mean? But the guy's got such great composure, and he's used to the police not actually helping him, but he still gets on with it anyway. Do you know what I mean?
He's not allowing the stereotype to interfere in the work that he's doing.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's for a greater cause. So yeah, I want to big up Faz, and also Faz has got some stab-proof vests. Yeah. So please, anyone who's listening, if you haven't heard of Faz Amnesty, have a look at the work that you know they're doing, because they've got some amazing technology with their stab-proof vests as well. And I'm not saying, oh, everyone go out and get a stab-proof vest, but I'm just saying some people feel that they need a stab-proof vest, and they need one that's going to save their life. Yeah. So protection is at hand,
Prevention's better
and
than
prevention is better than cure. So
Yeah.
have a look at some of the stab-proof vest and stuff that, you know, they've got. There's some amazing organizations out there that have got some new stab-proof kits. No, sorry, not stab-proof kits, stab kits, I mean, sorry. So if someone, you know, got stabbed, they can, you know, help themselves until, you know, the paramedics get there. Like, you know what I mean? Certain things like that. There's a lot of things that can help save lives. And it's crazy that people are inventing. Oh, we got one across the road.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
on the corner shop. Okay. Okay, so all right, Anton has just let us know that our charity Eyes of Many have got a stab-proof kit, yeah, that is based across the road
In Brixton
in
Hill.
Brixton Hill.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, cool. We're gonna
It's
give
across
some.
the road could be anyway, Jordan.
Yeah, we're gonna give some further details. We're gonna give some further details at the end. You know what I mean? Once we've got the finer details there, but it's a shame that we have to have these kind of things
In place.
in place.
But the reality is, we have to,
Of course.
because of what is going on in our community.
Mm-hmm.
We can't sit back and just have our heads in the cloud. This is the reality.
This is the reality.
It's not the reality that we want it to be, but yeah.
100%. We want to send some acknowledgement to Street Fathers as well. We had a member of Street Fathers join us here, Chris Sibia. Yeah, so we want to salute Chris. Do you know what? I saw Chris last week, actually, at the vigil in Brixton outside the Ritzy. And that was put on by the family of
The young man,
yeah, the young man who passed away
in
in
Brixton.
Brixton. Yeah,
which our condolences to him,
We
his
wanna-
family.
Yes, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And there's been a few videos of the vigil circulating around, particularly his dad's speech. Yeah, the young man who passed, his dad's speech. Powerful,
Definitely.
powerful words.
Do you know what I
You know?
admired from the clip? is the strength.
Yeah.
It's the strength because what he has gone through, that is not easy.
Come on.
That is not easy.
Come on.
But he had the strength to speak, encourage, and
Yeah. Powerful.
Definitely.
And there was a lot of other community leaders down there. Like I saw Respect Rebellion down there. As I said, I saw Street Fathers down there. Who else was down there? I saw do you know what, Marie? I saw so many different pockets and parts of our community. I saw Nation of Islam down there. I saw some churches down there. And who else was down there? The thing is, I wasn't even down there for very, very long because
But you
I
was
was
able
on my
to-
way somewhere. Do you know what I mean? But I was able to touch base. I even saw a few musicians down there as well, like music artists down there. There was a few music artists down there. UK artists, UK rappers, like those people that was down there. I saw Getz. I had a little word with Getz as well. We got a few mutual friends. So yeah, I touched base with Getz briefly. Who else was down there? I saw there was some DJs down there, like some DJs in our community. DJ Milk Tray was down there. There was people down there like that. There was a lot of people down there supporting. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I know Andrew Fuller, who runs Hood Lessons. He was another person who was helping, who facilitated that gathering kind of thing as well. And Hood Lessons are doing a lot of great work because they specialize with trauma. Helping young people who have gone through trauma and understanding behavior. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of people who are in our community who are doing things. You know what I mean? Even real life community. You find them on Instagram. So like Steins. Or Talib, rather. You know, before he comes and he puts me in a headlock, you know what I mean? Got a big brother, Steins, you know what I mean? But yeah, big up Steins. Quincy's, you know what I mean? He's working with, you know what I mean, people that are trying to make a difference for young people and who have got the experience, you know, to tell the young people it's long.
And I think some of these organizations, some of them are coming from first-hand experience of what the road is about.
100%.
Now, we're not saying they've, done a crime, but they're understanding the factors that can lead to be in a particular situation and stuff. And sometimes when you've gone through, you're the best one to be able to encourage and speak to them because you're coming from first-hand information.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So yeah, it's like you don't really want to you link up with people on those terms. You want to link up with them on how we can better the young people, not like on a reaction basis. Do you know what I mean? We want to be more on a prevention rather than a reaction, So I want to also just take a moment to acknowledge again Eyes of Many. You see, for those who can see us on the screen, you might be able to see behind. We got Just Cool Radio banner behind us, and Eyes of Many, a charity run by Just Cool Radio. You know what I mean? And they support young people in the local area and putting them onto skills that will help them better themselves. So that will be teaching them about media, teaching them about learning to DJ, teaching them videography, photography, sport. There's football tournaments taking place, and great collaborations with other organizations. Yeah, that's what I was meaning to say. Who can help, and I'm a firm believer in collaboration. You know what I mean? Good sound collaboration. Like I said, it takes a village to raise the community. So yeah, that's that.
Do you know what I was thinking, Jordan? With all these different organizations who are willing, passionate to help the community in the school environment, I think let the teachers teach the curriculum. And when it comes to these, I think this should be part of a lesson or curriculum where these organizations can go in and speak to the young people,
Definitely.
because that might help. You know, we're just trying to help, isn't it?
That's it. That's
So
it.
you
that's
don't
it.
know what that can do if they go in. At least if they're going through anything, feeling overwhelmed, they're like, okay, cool, I can go and speak to these organizations because this
Definitely.
is what they can do, and da 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 da.
Definitely. I am definitely a firm believer in that. I think that is something that needs to happen. Like for real. Like I think that needs to happen. You know. Do you know what? We're gonna have our teacher training day. We're gonna have our teachers day where we get our teachers in as well, because the school, it goes hand in hand, you know, because we're thinking about what sort of ages children are, you know, carrying weapons. They're carrying weapons from school ages. So
Should we some of them? Year 6.
year 6. Let's
I
call
know
a
that
spade
sounds-
a spade.
It sounds quite scary to say that.
Year 6.
But year 6. Maybe year 5.
Yeah.
Because remember, our young people, our children, mentally, in some areas, they're quite advanced.
100%. That's somebody who's got older siblings and some who don't even have older siblings. You know what I mean? The influence is serious. Remember, a lot of these, they're watching YouTube, innit? So they're listening to some things and watching things that have got adult themes. They're on social media, you know what I mean, with the adult themes. So we're here. Like, we want to let everyone know we're here to support. We're here to listen. You know what I mean? We're here to help and engage and see what, you know, good solutions and initiatives we can help young people do, because children are the future, and we want to invest in
The next generation.
Come on, we want to invest in
Yeah.
as many young people as we can, and into the mindset. You know, I know the mindset is Marie's thing.
My forte.
Yeah. But we want to help as many young people's minds. Like, some people used to ask me when I used to go into a lot more schools. Yeah, people are like, well, why don't you go into the schools, man? I mean, them kids are so rude. And I'm thinking, well, if no one makes time for the kids, then what? No. Then what? If no one makes time to go into the schools and help these young people, then what? Do you know what I mean? People are like, oh, you're brave to go into the prisons. I'm like, what? I
if
know
you
what they
don't-
mean, but
but if you don't,
if I
who
don't
d-
go in there, then what? Like, when I'm writing the poems, you know, I'm writing them with the prisoners in mind. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm writing them with the prisoners in mind. And I've been to female prisons too. Yeah? Listen, the female prisons, they're different to the guy prisons and the male prisons, isn't it? It's got a very different feel. Like, when you go into the female prisons, to me, like, it feels a bit more, it feels a lot more laid back kind of thing. Like, some elements of the female prisons even feel a bit more like a youth club kind of thing compared to the male prisons. Like,
But then some males were saying that some of the male prisons, it's like a youth club.
yeah, but some of
So,
them
you know?
say that too. But I'm talking about, you know, like how the logistics and how it's running there. Like, the male prisons are far more militant, in my
Okay.
opinion, from what I've seen. Like, with the male prisons, it's like,
So
if
would
you're-
you say that's a setup?
well, yeah, like,
Because if we break the men,
yeah.
then we don't have any strong men in the community.
Yeah. I'm being serious. I remember one day I went to a male prison, yeah, with Alex Rose and Abdul Karim and a few other people, yeah. And I went in, like, we was in a group and we was all walking together because we're going to the library, because the library is where we're having the session, yeah. So we've gone through this door. Someone opens the door and you hear the keys, yeah. And then you go through the door, and then everyone walks through. Then the person turns around, locks the door behind them. Then we go further down the corridor. We get to another big iron door. Open that door, Everyone walks through, turn around, close that door behind.
Does it all echo behind you?
Yes.
Oh,
You
Lord.
see, when that happened, yeah, I swear, I was there from about 8 till 5, yeah, that day. Do you know that for the next week, I shut every door behind me? Like, every door I
Because it's
went through,
repetitive.
I swear, for about a week, I shut every door behind me. And I was like, is that what one day done? That was one day, and I'm a visitor. Yeah, I'm a visitor.
So imagine if
yeah?
someone was in there, how the routine repetitively is
Yeah.
having an impact on the mind.
Yeah, like I've heard, like once I've been around some people who's just come out and they hear keys and they shake.
Or they hear a door slam.
Yeah,
And it's like it's a trigger.
Yeah, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like, you know what I mean?
Or, you know, like you could be at home, people's got flooring.
Yeah. Facts.
Sorry, Jordan. So we have a comment up here from disabled artists. Young people are groomed from outside the primary school gates or even youth clubs. That is true. It's sad to say it's true.
Yeah.
And then if we're looking, as I would always like to look at, factors of what could, the impact certain factors could have on young people, if they're not having a stability at home, there's areas of their development is being deprived, they could be easily groomed.
100%.
Unfortunately.
100%. No two ways about it. We want to thank you for that comment, and anyone else who wants to comment, yeah, we're gonna get into that. But what we're gonna get into now is the tragedies of knife crime. And when we start to look at the survivors, because we got a lot to unpack. Yeah, we got a lot to unpack here because
We
it's
might
such
have to do a part two because we've got to divulge in this
it's
stuff.
such a broad topic here. Yeah, and when we look at the tragedies of knife crime, yeah, and we look at the survivors, yeah, like you have to think like an incident's taken place, someone's used an instrument on someone, and they don't know what the future holds at that moment. Like you have to think of the shock, the adrenaline, like that is going on at that moment in time during the attack.
The whole like leading up to it once it's done,
Yeah.
and whether most of the time people do flee, isn't it? Mentally, what is going on?
Yeah.
What was going on mentally leading up to that?
Yeah.
I don't feel you wake up and say, "Do you know what? I'm gonna walk out my house and attack." That's what I'm thinking. However, people could disagree with me. Cool. But I think there's more going on before that act is taken out.
Yeah.
Because when we reflect back on what happened to the young lady in Croydon, I was thinking of, okay, so if she has declined this young man's flowers or suggestion, what is going on mentally that you can't be like, all right, cool, you don't want nothing to do with me. You have to go and take a weapon out and take her life. Something's going on deep, and we're not excusing. No, I'm not here to say, oh, well, because something was going on with him, yeah, that's why he done it. No, I'm just trying to say that majority of the time, there's something either in the subconscious or something that's going on within us that causes for different behaviors to manifest at different times, whether you're happy, whether you're sad.
100%.
And the levels of how it comes out.
100%. 100%. No two ways about it. Do you know what it is as well? Every attack is different you know what I mean? Every attack is different. Like some people get attacked from behind. Like unfortunately, one of the recent murders that has taken place in our community, the person didn't even see the knife coming.
So he didn't even have time to either.
Didn't have time to
protect himself.
To get away.
Yeah.
Like the knife came at him at an angle that he couldn't even see, and that knife wound was fatal. So imagine you're greeting someone, you're saying hello to someone, and then next minute, insert.
That's it.
What? Like, not seeing that coming, you're not being prepared. Like, it's madness. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But we can say that's similar to what happened to the young lady. Maybe just say, no, not interested, etc., etc. Then this comes out, she wasn't ready.
My goodness. I think that's even worse, you know. No, it's not. They're
both bad.
Because you can't even
Both
say
bad.
worse. Because if you're saying hello to someone, you're greeting someone, and the next minute a knife is in your back or in your side, and that's a fatal wound, you didn't have time to defend yourself. You didn't have time to, as I said, escape or anything like that. That is scary. And then that's a scary thought to conceive, that you could be saying hello to someone, and then when the person you're even saying hello to is in a car. So they can't defend you in time either, because someone's run up from behind and then done that. That's mad. Then look at the situation where you're pleading. The young lady's pleading. Like, no, and then insert. Nah. Do you understand what I'm saying? And both of these situations, both of these cases that we just mentioned, broad daylight. No, broad daylight. You see, before, it was like...
And it wasn't on a little back street, not saying...
No.
It was in plain...
Both of these incidents were main road.
Yeah.
Mains, cameras, everything. School kids. Like, one's in the morning and one's while people are picking up school.
On your way home.
On your way home from school. School kids are seeing the scene. Like, innocent bystanders. You know, someone just probably just walking down the road, got their little AirPods in. The next minute they're seeing a sword.
People rushing by them. Then you see an assault happening. So, from that situation... what's happening? We're sending trauma into our community now.
100%. And this is what I was talking about when I was talking about with the tragedies of the knife crime, with the survivors. Like, there's people who are around who are impacted. Everyone who's impacted, even the people who rush to the scene to try and help the person. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know that self-talk, that whole, oh my gosh, should I help them? Should I? They don't even know what to do certain times because they're thinking, am I going to get stabbed too? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Because you're thinking of your safety at the same time as, look what's happening to this young man or young woman.
You have to remember this as well. You see, like, for us who grew up in this community, having grown up how we've grown up, like, you have to have your wits about you, innit? You have to have discernment. You have to be very observant of your surroundings and stuff like that. And even if, for example, you panic, you cannot show any signs of fear. You cannot show like this is startling me or anything. You have to look that in the face like it's nothing. Yeah, like you gotta have your wits about you. Yeah, you gotta have your wits about you. So you're not portraying like to people who want to do those kind of things that they can do it to you, and they can do it to you easily. I mean, it can happen to anyone, but I'm just saying, like, you're not putting it out there like that, like, right, you're just gonna do this and it's gonna be fine.
So would you say that they will be denying their authentic self?
Well, Larry, a lot of people are denying their authentic self anyway. Yeah, anyway, like, a lot of people have got some imposter syndrome anyway. But yeah, I do believe, like, a lot of people would be denying their authentic self because they might be messing their underwear. Yeah, no, they might be messing their underwear when they can feel the presence of darkness and evil at that moment in time.
Let's just be real. Come on,
And they think they're on a sun timer. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Because they're thinking, this can go really left.
And you could just freeze on the spot.
My goodness
You know,
gracious me.
That's what I was saying to you today, Jordan. Some people are, well, if I was you, no.
No.
You see, until you're in a particular situation, then you can say, well, when I was in it. But don't say if you haven't been in it, because you don't
100%.
really know how you would react if you was really in the situation.
100%. And that's for us who have got that kind of bravery. That's for us that's got that kind of heart, like in those situations. And us who've got those experiences of being on the scene with certain things like that. Could you imagine the civilian, the person that just gets up and goes to work every day that, do you know what I mean, is actually afraid, thinking, oh my gosh, knife crime and all of that kind of stuff. And then they see something and then they're thinking, oh my gosh, well, someone's being left for dead. Like, should I help them? Like, you might have a scarf on or something and you're thinking, I should probably take off my scarf or my hat or something and hold it against the wound. Like, you know, those kind of things. I should probably call an ambulance. Like, do you know those kind of things? In those kind of situations, when civilians are so afraid, they might not remember.
They're free.
That
You could
the
be
number-
a first aider, and you just freeze.
And freeze and forget. You might forget that the number to call is 999. That's what I'm saying. Like,
This is trauma.
because it's trauma that's going on. Like,
in front of you.
You didn't expect to see that today. Do you know what I mean? But you see, even for the survivors, though, yeah, like the people who have been victims of knife crime and they survive, like some of them have life-changing injuries. Like life-changing injuries. Like I said, the young man that I saw in Glasgow that got stabbed in his back, he was young. He was probably about 16 or something, and he was in a wheelchair for life.
So what we don't really know how they've impacted him mentally. His thought process, his self-worth. Everything gets shattered
100%.
depending on, the support network he has. If he's got a good one, it can help him, but then he still may have times as, but I wasn't born like this.
Yeah.
And now I'm in this situation.
Remember, rehabilitation in those situations, like especially when someone becomes paralyzed, like from something like that, can easily be 7 months. Like, that can happen and you can easily be in the hospital for 7 months straight. You know what I mean? Then the type of rehabilitation that you got to go through, like you got to learn how to use a catheter. Like, you know what I mean? When you need to urinate, you be having a lot of accidents. You know what I mean? Like, you might be having a bowel movement that you can't control because you don't have the core function anymore. Like, do you know what I mean? Some people...
And that in itself, that is damaging to someone if they wasn't born in that way.
Yeah.
And then you reflect on what happened to you to make you, that's put you in that state.
Like, it's not a game. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a game. Like, that is some hard pills to swallow. Like, on a serious level, like that's some real hard pills to swallow there. We got a comment that has come in, that's come through on Instagram. It says, it is really awful. Recently, many robberies at knife point, always more than one. I think the source of gaining weapons needs to be looked into. As of right now, from what I have witnessed, it's very much a status thing or protection from gang members on their own. No groups, phones, recording. It's a whole different ball game. I'm sick to my gut of communities not stepping in as a collective when they see young people misbehaving, etc. And an incident happens, no one knows anything. However, turn it around, and if a young person is held up by police for whatever reason, the community then comes in with phones, etc. and collectivity. Come on, as human beings on this planet, we need to take our headphones off and stop turning a blind eye. I hope things change. And that is from Shatara_run. And it's deep, because it's true.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for that. When you see, like,
think we got another one on the screen as well, Jordan.
Oh yes. Alright, let me read that one in 1 second. I'm just gonna say, when you see like an injustice, the police have done something to someone, everyone comes in against the police. Everyone's there recording, everyone's trying to do something like, why is the police doing that to this young man, or wherever, do you know what I mean? But when young people are doing stuff against young people, you don't always see the same unity. And as she
there's
said,
a level of fear.
yeah,
Because some, you know, let's just be real. Some of our young people don't care. They would attack anyone and don't feel no way about it. Some people, some adults, why would you want to put yourself in that situation? So there's a level of fear.
Yeah. 100%. For the comment that we just got on the TikTok, I was just wondering, the one that says, I think it's Spirit on a Human Journey, I don't know if you can elaborate on your point. If you can elaborate on it, then we can read it out, because I'm not quite clear on what it is you're saying. So if you just elaborate on it, then we can read it out after. Thank you. But yeah, like when we're looking at these kind of things, it's like life-changing injuries, you know. Like some people like have got stabbed, and like now they can't, you know, have the same bowel movements. Now they've got a bag. Like they've permanently got a bag now. Like you can't just go to the bathroom. You've got a bag. Like to relieve yourself. Understand what I'm saying? Like there's things like that. Some people have got visually impaired because of where the blade got them in their eye or something like that. Some people have got one eye now. Life-changing injuries. Yeah. Some people have got such bad nerve damage, yeah, that perhaps their hand is like seized up. For example, like they don't have function of their hand because of severe nerve damage, because of where the knife has damaged their nerves, and their hand will never be the same again. Like some people, some of the survivors are registered disabled after being stabbed. Like this is what's going on. Think about what kind of damage it is going on, you know what I mean, in the brain, mentally, of that kind of thing. Imagine
what
like
are their thought processes, man, on life,
yeah,
on themselves, society.
Even like the scars, Marie. Like, you know, when some people have been stabbed multiple times as well, yeah, like you might, like, if like a man might have been able to take off his top before, like when he's gone swimming or on the beach or whatever, and you know what I mean, clear skin. But then when you've got like several stab wounds, scars, do you know what I mean?
And you don't want no one to say, it's like,
What happened there? Because everyone's asking you.
Yeah, because you don't know if that person who may have the scars has even overcome that trauma. So asking could just say it off again.
Yeah. Worse when it's in your sight, like your hands, your face. You know, one of my friends, yeah, her brother got stabbed on the way to school. This was a few months ago, yeah. I don't know. It probably might have been about April or something, or May or something. He got stabbed on the way to school, on his way to his GCSE exam. We did mention this like in one of the episodes earlier, yeah. This guy got him bad. Thank God he survived, you know what I mean? But this guy got him bad, yeah. And he's on the way to school, you know, on his way to his GCSE exam. But the guy got him in his neck, got him in his ears, his face, legs. Like, he had nerve damage on the legs. And you know when they always say millimeters from artery and all this kind of, yeah, millimeters from the artery. Like, it could have been another story, you know what I mean? But, and he's a good student, you know? Like, after, like, he still finished his he went to go and do his GCSEs. That one, obviously, under special measures, he just done like later, but he still done his GCSEs. Even because he got hair, yeah, he's got cane rolls. They didn't even know that his head was even cut, how it was cut.
Wow.
Even his head was cut. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
So it was that the hospital didn't even clock straight away. Didn't even notice that the head was, because they were so concentrating on the body and all of that stuff.
You know, with certain areas of the body
Yeah.
continues to bleed,
Yeah.
then that's it. That
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
put you into a dangerous situation.
And as for the person who done it, is someone that he knew, who used to go to his school, but the boys got kicked out and he's gone to centre. So he was like someone that was at a centre kind of thing. And it wasn't like no major drama or nothing like that. Like no one, like it wasn't like someone robbed someone, or it was just foolishness in the morning. Do you know what I mean? So,
But then, Jordan, so let me just ask you this question. So, for argument's sake, I'm not saying this is right,
yeah.
if a young person robs another person, the best way to get him back or her back is to stab?
That's how a lot of people see it these days, Marie.
Now, don't get it wrong. I'm not saying the act of stealing something is right, or well, as they call it.
Yeah.
So because someone's taking your stuff in that's a violation way, cool, I understand that. So you come back with a sword.
Yeah.
Because it's not a knife, you know.
No, it's a sword. You know, like when you see some of these videos, yeah, of how they pull the sword out of their, out of the trousers, yeah, like you can't see the sword when they're running. Because when I see a lot of them running in the videos, they're not running fast. Like they're not trying to be Usain Bolt. And I'm thinking, why wouldn't you be running faster than that if you're getting chased? Or why wouldn't you be running faster than that if you're chasing someone? Like those are the kind of things I'm thinking. You see, when they get closer to the victim, yeah, that's when you see them come pull out this massive
But you know what
sword.
I'm thinking, Jordan, because the length of these and
Of the
how
blades.
sharp these
Yeah.
blades are. I'm surprised when they don't pull out like He-Man.
Some of them do. Some
It
of them.
doesn't-
Some of them rip out their thigh. Oh. Some of them rip out their thigh when they're doing it. Do you know what I mean? Because you have to remember, these lot are not taught like how to
Use these
things.
because it's not for them to use like that.
Yeah, like a lot of them just get there, and even how they're getting them. Yeah, like there's websites in the UK, and this is something that Farron Paul emphasizes on a lot. A lot of these lot are going on websites, and it's just getting delivered to their door, like by a normal courier.
So isn't there kind of any restriction on, you know, like back in the day, if you go on certain websites to order things, like can you confirm you're over 18?
Yeah.
But then again, some could be over 18.
Yeah. It's horrible, man. It's absolutely horrible. Even when we're talking about for the survivors as well, yeah. The trauma, yeah, of going forward. Like if something's happened, an incident's happened in a certain, location, you can't expect the brain to just be comfortable going back to the exact same location after you had a near miss there, where you nearly lost your life there, and those kind of things there. There's a lot of trauma that, do you know what I mean?
But not even the fact of going back to where the incident happened, just the fact that the realization of what's happened to you, whether you're in the hospital or whether you're recovering, the trauma is set in.
Yeah.
They may not want to leave the house.
Facts.
Anything
Facts.
you could be said, oh, you're 17, but just the fact you walked up to them could be setting off a trauma.
Yeah. So many things. People around, like the whole scene, the whole everything, like
Talking to like could be a trigger.
Everything.
A big laughter, because that could be.
Everything.
I heard laughter before I was attacked.
Everything. There's going to be certain triggers that are just going to, get them. And for the amount of stabbings that are happening, I don't believe there's enough counselling that's happening after. because it's like, oh, once you get patched up, you just go back to your normal.
No, because mentally now we've got to focus on the mental side of things. And I was thinking as well, Jordan, of the bus driver
Yes.
where the young girl,
Yes.
the incident happened.
Yeah.
You're starting your shift. And then you see this happen. You've probably been driving for so long, or maybe just started the job. How do you function after seeing that?
Yeah. Trying your best to
Yeah.
save the young
The
lady's
girl.
life. Yeah.
On your route,
Yeah.
this happens. What about the passengers on the bus?
Yeah.
The children, the elderly,
Yeah.
who witnessed this?
Yeah. It's nuts. It's nuts. Like, there's a lot of think of like the other girls who are going to school. Like, can you imagine what they must be thinking? The other girls and boys, but particularly the girls though, like thinking about, oh my gosh, that happened to her. Like,
Could have been at normally that time we would have been together.
My goodness.
A friend could have been running late or said, oh, I'll meet you at that bus stop or I'll meet you at school
Yeah.
because I'm running late or I've got there early.
Yeah. It's serious. We've got a comment saying, my parents are an army. I could never mess about as a kid. They don't. What? They don't. They're opening more jails next year. Okay, so sorry.
Yeah, but
It seems
remember,
like-
Jordan, you see, the prison system
Yeah.
is a business.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Just like colleges and
Yep.
universities
Yep.
are businesses.
Yep.
So the more, that's probably why when the young man's bringing in the knives saying, now, why are you doing that for? Like,
Yeah.
we're opening more
Yeah.
jails.
Yeah.
Because every prisoner that goes in, it's a pound sign.
Yeah. And that's something that is not really discussed as much. Like, if they think of themselves as how the system sees them, like, no, if they consider the way the system sees them, then they would think, or they ought to think twice. Like, to think,
But how many people are looking at things from that perspective?
they're not. Like, this is the thing, they're not. It's like, this is where we need to make more noise about it. Because we're saying, the system doesn't rate you. Like,
No,
you are...
they're not for you.
No, you are a utensil. Yeah? You are a utensil.
product to
You're
make
a
them
product.
money.
Yeah.
And if you go by the narrative that they need you to go by to make that money, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
And if we look back to, let's just be real, Jordan. Let's go back to the family structure. Some of us, as a woman, come on, women, let's be real. We fed into it before, you know, our senses kicked in. They was encouraging us as women to kick the fathers out the house. If you kick the fathers out the house,
you get a flat.
we get the flat,
Yeah.
we get the benefits.
Get the benefits.
Then when you get the fathers out, they're going through some kind of hardship,
100%.
which means there's only two paths. They may go on the road, something may happen to them. Mentally, they're not able to function, which means there's no man of the house to oversee and bring the logic and even being the head of the house
Big
for the
scam.
family.
Big
so
scam. Big scam.
You have got a son and a daughter.
Big scam.
I said to many people, like when my sons were younger, as a woman, and I'm being real to you because I am a woman, I've got my sons. When they hit their teens, I knew I wasn't enough to raise them. I'm not a man. Things they are going to go through as men, I cannot teach them. I can be there to listen, to reassure them, show empathy, to love them. But the things, what they will go through as young men, I can tell them, but I don't know how it is. I could be driving my convertible car down the road. I'm a black woman, I have a gold tooth, whatever. I have never been stopped. If my sons, the age that they are now, go and drive down the road in a convertible or mine, they're being stopped. Where you get a car from? Where's your license? Do you smoke weed? What job do you do? You're being interrogated. I don't know how that feels. So how can I, to a certain degree, equip my son in this cruel world out here.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is to be stopped and searched as a woman. How would I know how a young man? So this is the aim, was to kick our strong black men
100%.
or men, sorry, we're not going to put it into
Yeah.
race, out of the house so they can target the children.
100%.
And
Big
if they
scam.
didn't start doing it in the household, then they start to do it in a school environment. The aim is if we can destroy the function of the family unit. Because remember,
Yeah.
back in the day, the family was the wealth, the strength.
Come on.
If you
Come on.
didn't break that, that's what they had problems with. But if you can break the family structure, then they are winning. Every young man that goes into prison is a pound sign.
100%.
Majority, and let's be real, of the prisons occupy black men. Black men. And if you speak to these men on a level, a lot of them, Jordan, they are not, as Jamaicans would say, dunce. So what has happened where they're in this situation? It's food for thought, isn't it?
100%.
Are we? I'm not saying your sons or your daughters won't play up in school. Of course, they're children. But how much is it really the children? What is going on? As Marvin Gaye would say.
No, what's going on? What's going on? You know, it's so deep. We got like to also think about this is how orchestrated this has all been.
It has
Yeah?
been
This has
orchestrated.
been
And once we
orchestrated over
realise
years.
that,
Yeah.
then I think you might see changes happen.
Yeah.
Once
yeah.
everybody starts to realise, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is a plan
Yeah.
that the narrative they're sending to us.
100%.
Because it's, even if you look all over the world, a lot of men, if they come, when they come out of prison in America, if they come out, cannot mentally function. Cannot get a job because once they've got that criminal record, no matter what it is, it's hard for them.
100%.
So where do they go back?
100%.
If you have people in prisons, I'm not saying, every crime is different, so I'm not looking at the crime.
Yeah.
But when they're in there, what is being done, or is it effective enough to help these men or women to integrate back into society? Every day society is changing.
Yeah.
Are they ready for it?
Yeah. 100%. 100%. And remember, as I said, yeah, a lot of people were saying to me like, "Oh, you're brave to go to the prisons. Like, you sure you want to go in there?" And that, yeah. But some people don't want to go in there because they don't even remember that there's thousands and thousands and thousands of men and women who are in the system who are actually not in society right now because they're behind the door, they're behind the wall. So if all of those people were out, yeah, like the jobs will be more competitive. A lot of things will be a lot more competitive right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, but then they're so nuts, yeah.
But then going back to the family unit, some of the men would be in the homes.
Yeah, some of the men will be in the homes. But you know what's so mad though? You see, like a young person like myself, yeah, like I grew up, in a council house, house, and I would have to put my name on the housing list at a very tender young age, way long before I was ready to move out, to then be on the list for about 7-8 years, yeah, to then be bidding for a council property, and also being a law-abiding citizen, yeah, as well. That's how I would have to go about looking to get a council property if I wanted one, to then, get a secure tenancy, exercise the right to buy. Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
It's not guaranteeing this society
It's
now.
not.
You're getting a secure tenancy
And
because
that-
they're reviewing it every year.
Precisely,
every 6
or
months.
every 6 months, yeah. But when people come out of prison, for example, a lot of people come out of prison, like the rehabilitation programs and stuff like that they go through, a lot of people are coming out to get a flat. A lot of people are coming out to get a house. Like, do you know what I mean? So I'm not saying that that's not a good thing, but I'm just saying someone like myself who has been a law-abiding citizen, minding his business and working, living an honest life, for
They
example,
would tell you to go and rent private.
they will tell me to
Pay
go rent
double the
private,
rent.
or you just go and save for your deposit and, you know, get on the ladder.
Or
yeah?
just, can't you tell your mum to change the front room into a bedroom?
Or tell my mum to change the front room into a bedroom because it's a living space.
Yeah.
Yeah? That's what I'll be getting told. But
When I first heard, I'm like, I've never.
nah,
you
that's what
talking
they
about?
that's what they're
I
suggesting
know.
to people. That's what they're suggesting
like,
to people.
really?
That's what they're suggesting to people. But let's say, for example, I committed a crime, I could come out and get a flat easier than I could get a flat without going to prison, so to speak. But then me not having a criminal record, it's easier for me to get a job than. So, do you know what I mean? I'm not saying
Yeah.
people can't get a job, because you can get a job when you come out, but I'm just saying it's easier for me to get the job than
Yeah.
the person who's gone to jail for a severe crime. Do you know what I mean? So when you look at certain things like that and you analyze it, you're like, this thing is rigged. It's rigged. It's rigged. Do you know what I mean? It's proper rigged. But as time's of the essence, yeah, we wanted to move on as well, as we're still on the topic of trauma, because the truth is, when we're talking about the knife crime, some don't make it. Yeah, some don't make it, because when we're talking about the statistics at the very beginning, we're talking about what they said, almost 300 young people last year recorded. Yeah, almost 300 last year recorded nationwide. Yeah, now we believe that is a low number for the amount of. Do you understand what I'm saying? To say nationwide. Yeah. So from stabbings, you know what I mean? So okay, if we're gonna include shooting as well, but stabbings particularly, you know what I mean? It's like a lot don't make it. Like thankfully a lot do, because it's timing. Yeah, it's timing.
But then the impact it's had on them as well is another story in itself.
100%, because we're talking about retaliation.
Yeah.
Someone can get stabbed and survived, and then their friends go, we're going to get him back. And then they go over to the other
Cycle
side, and
that's
then they get the
continuing.
person down, and that person's gone. Do you know what I mean? They're like, what? Got us on? Then, do you know what I mean? They got to respond as well. Do you know what I mean? So that's how you get like a lot more problems with what's going on now. And when we're looking at, as I said, for those who don't make it, yeah, the grief and the bereavement, yeah, to think that your loved one, yeah, was killed, murdered. You start to think, killed in broad daylight, yeah, murdered in broad daylight, or maybe they were set up, yeah, maybe their friend done it, quote unquote, so-called friend, yeah, or they produced you, like your brethren, like handed you over to the other side, basically. What? So when you start looking at that, yeah, like the mother, like think of the mother, like the cry from the pits of her stomach, thinking about
That's
the 9
a whole
months.
different crying, you know. That's not your typical. I've just heard something. That's
Nah, different cry.
That's a
yeah,
whole
thinking
different
about the
cry.
9 months, thinking about all the investment. Remember when we had Chris Sibia here? He was talking about your children are your investments. Yeah, and Chris was talking about the investments. Think of all the time, money, effort, everything that you've put into your child, your child, the nurturing, like all that stuff. Even, can you imagine the regret that the parents are going to feel? That the family members are going to feel? Yeah? What if the child was trying to, like, signal to say, yo, like, I need a little help, or I need da-da-da-da, or whatever, and you were too busy for them. And then they've gone somewhere, and then, phew, that's it, vapor. Gone into thin air, transitioned,
That's a whole
gone up to the essence. Got to have a conversation with God. What's the eternity fate? Because people are being catapulted into eternity, yeah, involuntary. You didn't go up there and go, hey, everyone, stab me in my heart. You didn't do that. You got. I don't want to say it like that, but I'm saying some people who are in that cycle of it, though, I'm saying, yeah, they're trying to get people down, yeah, and then, do you know what I mean? Sometimes, so you win some, you lose some, yeah, because there's some people that I've seen over the years who have passed away. Some young people who I've known, grown up seeing, and I've seen their mums, I've seen their aunties, I've seen everyone talking about he was such a lovely boy and da 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 da, and he didn't hurt a fly and da 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 da, and I'm scratching my bald head because I'm like, hang on a minute, him, like, because I know that the home persona is different to the outside persona.
The road, on the road, the public, yeah.
Yeah, it's
and
a different person.
Coming from like our cultural background,
Yeah.
they will always say, I used to say it from the elders in my family, you know, they don't swear for no pitney.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're one way at home and they don't know how you are on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so that was the kind of slogan you would hear, you can't swear for no pitney.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm not saying that they had it come in or they deserve it. No, God forbid. I speak life. Marie speaks life.
Yeah, we speak
on
life.
Evening Talks, we speak life. We want everyone to live and not die. Yeah? That is what we want. Yeah? We believe in the word of God and we want everyone to live and not die. Yeah? But I'm saying some of the narratives that some of these young people are putting out, yeah, is death. Like some of the songs that they're making, like certain diss tracks and certain stuff that they're making, they're talking about people who has died. Like imagine, like they're talking about, like I've heard people making songs and stuff saying that they're gonna put people in a spliff, yeah. Like,
Sorry, Jordan, what does that mean?
like this is what I'm saying. They're saying they're gonna put people in a spliff. Like you see, like how you smoke a spliff, yeah, and what's in the spliff is like they're saying we're gonna smoke you. We're putting you in a spliff.
Okay.
Yeah, we're putting you in a spliff. Yeah, like when I've heard people saying they're gonna put other people in a spliff, and they haven't made it themselves. Yeah, I've heard people talk about other people laughing when other people died, and then they died soon after. And it's not necessarily by the people who they're dissing, you know. Like, because some people have created so many enemies, they've got like 3 groups of people who's looking to lick them down. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like they've put in so much work out in the streets, yeah. Like they're not even sure what direction it's coming from. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like it's very, very costly. Very costly because it's like, remember, they're in the mindset of, yeah, this is me, this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm living, blah 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 blah, and it's a thought that maybe crosses their mind. But you have to think how some of these people die, you know. My goodness gracious me. Sometimes it's humiliating.
Yeah.
Sometimes like their organs are splattered like on walls and stuff like that for people to see. Like sometimes there's videos of them taking their last breath. But remember, they were talking about putting people in a spliff and all this kind of stuff. Like there was an incident where someone who was quite well known, he was at a party and he was talking a certain type of way to the security, and the security took it like personally. And then the security said, you know what? I've had enough. I'm not going to be tolerating this. The person allegedly like was indicating, if you don't comply with what I'm saying and let me and my people them in, you're done out here.
It's a different story out here.
Yeah. So man just said, all right, cool. Give man a pass. Whatever. Man's gone in there. My man's in there dancing, partying, whatever. And then allegedly they came back. And you know what I mean? Just done my man in the party. And I'm not saying it like that, but I'm not trying to say it like that, but I'm just saying it's how unfortunate it is. Because I'm trying to be realistic in how I'm speaking, but also be very delicate and mindful that we're talking about life. We're talking about people who like have a wife and children, or people who could have had a wife and children,
Or
people
may
who
even
have
have a
parents,
child on the way.
may have a child on the way. Like,
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying. Life is so delicate, we don't know the next 5 minutes. So because you've had a good run of like, you know, bullying people and stuff like that, you might not think that someone is gonna just have enough and just get you. You know what I mean? And
But then, you know, that's going back to something deep within, though, for you to just come back with a vengeance, isn't it?
the guy, like, from what I understand, you know what it is? I know people that were there. Like that particular incident, I know people who were there, and they were having a party and everything was fine and whatever. And when this person, you know, unfortunately got stabbed in the party, people were snapping the man on the floor, gasping. Do you understand what I'm saying? But remember, like an hour or two ago, he was on smoke. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and you have to think as well, yeah? Like, that person's got kids. That person's got, like, a wife, or, like, you know what I mean? Things is, you know, like, all those kind of things. You understand what I'm saying? And then it's like, okay, like, now what? Because remember we done the episode, Marie, on grief and bereavement.
Yes,
and
yes.
because we were
yes.
saying every type of death is different.
Different. Mm-hmm.
But murder, my goodness gracious me. Can you imagine if that person is like the main breadwinner in the family? And then now they're gone. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it affects a lot of things. Like, what about the funeral? Remember, Marie, a few weeks ago.
We talked about a funeral plan. You're not necessarily thinking of a funeral plan for a young lady that's, what's she good, like 16, 15, 16?
Yeah.
Or the young guy that was in his early 20s?
Nah, because people don't think about it. Remember when we was talking about the insurance and stuff in America, we was talking about in them neighborhoods in America, how the middle class Caucasians were going around to insure some like black kids, yeah, to say you were gonna insure them, but they've tricked the parents, yeah, to make them think that the parents are gonna get something
And
if
it's them that
anything
get
happens.
the money.
They've signed the whole thing, yeah, that they are the beneficiaries.
Yeah, but you see, with those people who done that, Jordan, they understand the narrative, what's going on out here.
Yeah. And imagine you're a young person who you've got nothing to do with, you don't even know, yeah. You've said, oh, you're gonna insure them or whatever, and then, you know, you've managed to get like the majority of the life insurance. Like, it's real. There's some crazy things going on. I'm not saying that happened. That's been happening loads and loads, but it was a real thing.
I just think going forward now, I think things that we do here, and I'm not necessarily saying like the bad things, but don't allow things to really shock you, because I don't think we fully understand the kind of narrative and world we're living in.
Yeah.
You know, it's not as I would say, roses and berries. No.
Nah. It's crazy out there, man. It's crazy out there. So you've got like again, if you think about like, right, let's say all of the children who've passed away like this year, yeah, for example, yeah, let's just say all of them had like 300 grand life insurance. The family would be in a better position. Not saying they're better without the child. No, that's not what I'm saying.
But I'm saying with the
unexpected,
like funeral costs.
Because guess what? It's GoFundMe pages. Everyone's putting money in a hat. Yeah? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, when some of these young people are deliberately trying to be doing up road, trying to be doing what they're doing and stuff like that, they haven't thought that far. Yeah? They haven't thought about how much pieces.
Well, when a young person has taken another person or young person's life, are they really understanding the next step of this now for their life? Because there's two sides to it. Yes, they can get caught, and then we go through the court process, and then you know where that ends in prison, etc., etc. But if you don't get caught, there's a thing called conscience. I always say I prefer my conscience to be like nice, so to speak. Because having that play on you will torment you.
Yeah.
You can't sleep. You can't eat. You can't even function for the day because you're being tormented. So
Remember-
I think people think that, well, if they didn't get caught, they got away with it. No, you become a prisoner within yourself. That's what's
100%.
happening. You're
100%.
Can you imagine you can't sleep? Or the person's life you've taken, close your eyes, you're seeing him looking at you.
Yeah.
No, I'm all right,
Yeah. It's mad, and you have to even think the perpetrator could be feeling like those things like what you was just explaining there, Marie. But then think about it, yeah. Like, there's been deaths at funerals. There's been stabbings at funerals. Like, the police have got intelligence about certain funerals, and the police show up. Like, some people, the family are trying to grieve and bury their loved one, but then you got whole heap of police there because there's so many young people. Like, there's
It's like you've got no... It's bad enough you lost your child,
yeah,
but you've got no peace to even mourn
no,
respectfully or even put your child to rest without being on eggshells because you don't know what's going to be flying over your shoulder or...
at the funeral. Yeah, it could be a chair, it could be a bottle, it could be a bullet, it could be a knife. Yeah, because there's been funerals recently where the police have come there because they got intelligence that certain people's going to the funeral, and they've seized firearms. They've seized firearms at people's funeral. They've seized firearms at people's funeral. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's crazy when you start to look at those kind of things. Even when we look at the court cases and the trials. Yeah? All that as well. Next thing, like, the family have to relive
that.
the
You're
whole
watching
moment.
footage or seeing if your young person, the last moments of their life, running, the injuries, because they will show pictures because when
They're
you
getting
know,
their evidence.
yeah, and they want to really make an example of the
Yeah.
person who's committed the offence, they will show pictures to make you,
Yeah.
connect to it.
Yeah.
What is that doing to the family? Reliving, bring back their trauma again.
Yeah. Some people, some mothers and that, like, they've got to quit their job. They got to quit their day job to commit to going to the trial. And they're hoping for justice. Some people are getting off the case. Imagine, like, you know that this is who's responsible, and people's getting off the case. Yeah?
So you've got to deal with the loss of
My
your
goodness.
loved one, and then the person who took your loved one integrate back in society. It's hard.
These kind of emotions, like,
Yeah.
but people are not thinking about these kind of emotions that are happening. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? People are not thinking about these kind of things. Like, it's crazy. The voice notes and, all of these kind of things and stuff like that you're there playing and listening to, etc. Like, you're hearing their voice
again. Like they're still here with us.
And stuff like that. That's playing loud in the court and them kind of... And listen, I went to a court case one time, yeah, for... Anyway, I went there, yeah? And I can see the person in the dock smirking at the victim's mum. Smirking. Yeah? When they're breaking the court for lunch and all them kind of stuff, you see my man all stretching and... What are you stretching for? You are trying
Like
to...
he's bored.
You're
wasting my
like,
time.
you're
I've
wasting
got to
my
go
time.
down to the yard shop and get a jerk chicken and
Yeah.
rice.
Yeah. Like, you want the jury to be looking at you like you're innocent. Like, the judge is saying, like, we're closing for lunch and that, and then you're there stretching, like. Yeah, that's what's going on. Like, the mum, like, the witnesses, like, they're going up in the dock, yeah, and man's there sighing and preying everyone
eyes.
who's walking in the court. Like, it's not the kind of place that you need to go. Like, when you're emotionally attached to this kind of incident. Like, you know, when you think about it like that, yeah. Remember, the perpetrator's family, yeah, are sitting in the public area. They're probably near the victim's family. So could you imagine when one side trying to intimidate the other, like, yo, this thing ain't easy. Then you gotta go up to like Old Bailey and all them kind of stuff. There you gotta put your phones and all them kind of stuff all away. This thing ain't easy. You know what I mean? You're feeling sick and you know all of these kind of things. Yo, this thing ain't easy. You know what I mean? So yeah, like there's so many things that we didn't get to cover today.
There is so much
My
that
goodness.
we still haven't unpacked. So I think we're gonna have to continue next week. Hopefully, we can have a special guest on that will be in line with what we're discussing. Yeah, because there's still more things
there's
to
so
unpack
many things we haven't even
that
covered
we
today.
feel that is important for the community to consider as possible factors that can be contributing to where we are today.
100%.
We're not here to blame anybody. This is not about blaming. We're looking at possible factors that maybe if these are looked into, reflected on, maybe some of the outcomes we're experiencing now in our community may not be happening.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about, what is the solution? Well, we're given a solution. We're not saying it's going to work, but it's a solution.
Yeah.
Maybe if we go back and doing a bit of reflecting of where some of these things could be coming from.
Yep.
You know, sometimes we do things in our community, not always thinking the long-term effect or impact it can have. So that's why we're exploring this.
100%.
But next week, we will continue to unpack this topic because there's so much.
There's so many things
There's
we haven't
so
even
much.
touched.
I
There's so many things we haven't touched.
And between myself and Jordan, we're going to say thank you to everyone who has been interacting with us via TikTok. We haven't been able to read out all the comments, but please, we do appreciate it for you to participate with us.
Join us next week, please. Everyone who's engaging with us,
Yeah.
everyone who's commenting with us, we're commenting on the TikTok and other platforms. We appreciate you. Please, same time next week. Yeah, we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue because we've got so much. We've got notes on notes we haven't even got through yet. You know, because it's such a serious topic.
Yeah.
You know, that's affecting our community.
And as we say, we are the community. So if we can probably reflect in within ourselves things that, you know, might need to be addressed, then positive changes may be able to take place.
Definitely.
So tune in next week, Thursday, between 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. with myself, Marie, and my handsome co-host. Got a tongue twister today. What's going on?
I'm telling you,
Jordan on Evening Talks. Have a blessed week and be vigilant. And let's start to be each other's brothers' keepers or sisters' keepers.
Definitely.
Have a blessed week.
Definitely.
Take care.
God bless
Bye.
Yeah, the mic's on. Marie, are you ready?
Hey, Jordan. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if they're ready though.
Well, let's see.